Sean, your question for Mal.
Thank you. As mentioned, you had a role in many of the goals almost half last game. What personal goals are you looking to achieve for this coming game? Changes, increases in way of play?
Yeah, I think obviously the result that we got last game is spectacular, but I also think that if you really want to get nitpicky, I think that there's a lot of things that we could have fixed. And I think personally for me, I know there was a couple of balls that people put in, and I think personally I need to be able to finish those because in future games, like we might only get that one opportunity. So being able to do it now is important. I think also hopefully in the next game I can connect a little bit more of my crosses. I think just being a little bit more accurate and have a little bit more quality in inside the 18.
Excellent. Before we go to Jonathan Tannenwald, I want to make note that Mal is just the eighth player in U.S. history to get more than 20 goals and more than 20 assists before the age of 25. The others are Mia Hamm, Alex Morgan, Christine Lilly, Shannon McMillan, Tiffany Milbert, Cindy Parlow, and Heather O'Reilly. So that's a pretty good group. Let's go to Jonathan Tannenwald. Go ahead.
Thank you, Aaron, and thank you, Mal, for the time. We were talking with Vlatko a few minutes ago, and he mentioned how this frontline trio of you and Katerina Macario and Sophia Smith is one that he really wants to see a lot of and give a lot of reps to. And I wonder what it means to you to have that endorsement from him and what it's been like playing in that trio.
Yeah, I think it's been great. I think it's obviously still a learning opportunity. I think none of us play club together, so anytime that we get into this environment, I think it's important that we just capitalize on the opportunities that we do get to play with one another. Kat obviously is a 9 that can hold up the ball really well, and me and Soph are 2 wingers that like to get in behind but also pop into the pocket. So yeah, I think so far it's been good, but now it's just getting that next quality and the next that next little edge to us, just to be all on the same page.
I think it's probably fair to say that Kat's not quite the same kind of 9 as the national team has had in the past, whether it's an Alex Morgan or a Carly Lloyd or an Abby Wambach, who's sort of a real target forward type, And I wonder if it changes how you play and also having on the other wing somebody in Sophia who plays as striker as much as she does winger, as now you do a little more too with Chicago. Is the playing style of that front 3 now with this national team different from how it used to be?
I mean, I think that you could say it is a little different. I think that all of us are different players. But I think too, like Kat, it has the ability, I think personally, to be a hold up 9 too, and she has the ability to drop into the pocket. So, and then yeah, I think with Soph and you do see that in our club environments that we do like to come inside and a little bit higher on the line, and we can play as a 9 too. So I think it's just good that we can all kind of interchange. And like I said before, I think it's important that we now get on the same rhythm when we do have that interchange.
Thank you.
Thanks, Jonathan. Does anyone else have any questions for Mal? If you do, raise your hand. If you don't, she's hungry and she wants to eat some lunch, and then she has some errands to do. We do have a few more. Let's go to Jen Hildreth. Go ahead, Jen.
I feel guilty now. Gosh, I'm not going to keep you.
No, I'm good.
You're all good.
Hey Mal, great to see you. It's been so much fun watching you play. Really seems like you are just in a great spot. I'm curious, obviously there's a lot of attention on, I think, this attacking group in particular, as we look toward qualifying and roster size having to get cut down. How do you sort of drown out all that noise, and do you feel any of the stress of knowing that, that there are so many talented players on this roster, and you're trying to do your best to make sure you get your spot and you'd also be a great teammate. So how do you balance all of that?
Yeah, I mean, to be completely honest, this is the first time that I've kind of like thought about that answering this question. Obviously there is a lot of talent within the front. line and the forwards. But I think it's just important just to overall, like, we all have a goal, and that goal is to win, and that goal is to keep the standard high. And I think if everyone does that, I think that you kind of see that translate into your individual performance. So yeah, I feel like that's kind of like the way I would look at it, is just seeing and buying into the overall goal that we have as a team.
And just last one from me. How would you say some of the ups and downs have been for you in your growth as you've gotten from when we always remember, for so long it was Mal, one of the youngest to do this, and the youngest to be that. Now you've moved on, still not old by any means, but moved on from that role. And how would you kind of look back on what the ups and downs have been like, and what you've learned from them, and have make you who you are right now?
Yeah, I think the number one word, or the best word that I could use, is just I'm thankful for them. I'm thankful for all the downs that I have had, because I feel like it was the adversity that I needed. And not saying that there's not going to be adversity in the future, but I feel like I grew so much as like a player, and I think most importantly, I grew more as a person. So, yeah, I would say like I'm thankful for them, and I also now have experienced them and kind of know how to like handle certain things. So yeah.
Great, thank you.
Thanks, Jen. Let's go to Jen's broadcast partner, Julie Foudy. Go ahead, Jules.
Hi, Mal.
Hi.
How are you, darling?
I'm good. How are you?
Good. I know we've talked about this before, but I feel like with every cap in camp, your growth is exponential. And in terms of now being one of the veteran players on this group, and so with so few veteran teammates around you, what has been the evolution on the leadership side for you, and where do you feel your comfort level is with that?
Yeah, I think I said the other day, like, with experience comes like leadership. So I think with the experience that I do have, I feel like I am in a comfortable position to kind of like lead, and that might be, and obviously I think that's going to be different than the way like Kelly leads or the way like Lindsay leads. So yeah, I think it's still like a learning experience for me, but I don't know. I just feel like the group's like in a good place, but I think ultimately like it's important for us to continue like this legacy of this team, and like what it truly means to be on this team, and like what it takes to win. So yeah, I'm just trying to carry that on, and just pass it on, really.
How would you describe your style? Would you say it's a combo of a couple different players, or is it more like a different player you've watched maybe lead this team in the past, with a group you've been with?
Yeah, I feel like it's, I mean, I would say like Kelly's like very like vocal, and you can like see that. And I would say for me, I don't necessarily think like I'm the very like vocal person like off the field, but I would say like on the field, like that's when like shit needs to get done, basically. And like I feel comfortable like that's the standard, and that's like I am expecting my teammates to hold me accountable to that standard, and for me to do the same to them. So yeah, I feel like it's more like on the field, that vocal leadership, and then off the field, I'm just kind of being me, to be honest.